Hi everyone, welcome in. Good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time it is for you, and whenever you're watching this. I just wanted to talk about recently Marion Pouw, who was an Australian Scientologist, top executive, passed away. She was 72 years old. So I just want to have a look at this article. So this was on in the Daily Mail. I think this is a UK edition, and it was only published late last night. So just see if anyone is here yet. I assume that you can hear me okay and see the article. If anyone's here and can let me know. Okay. I've only got one screen, so I have to go back to check comments. All right. So, top Aussie Scientologist is found dead after devoting her life to the mysterious religion, as details of her incredible link to its leader and her tragic cause of death are revealed. So we've got Marion Pouw spent her entire life in the Sea Org. So sad. Melbourne-raised Marion was close with David's missing wife, Shelley Miscavige. Okay. Just double check my mic because last time it was muted, but it looks like it's on. All right. An Australian woman who was run out of Melbourne as a child due to her family's Scientology beliefs has died in Florida. Marion Pouw, 72, died near the Scientology city of Clearwater. That's pretty funny. They call Clearwater the Scientology city. I mean, it is, but where she spent much of her life dedicated to the controversial religion and its leader, David Miscavige. Former friends who say they were cut off from her after they left the church revealed she had died from pancreatic cancer. Pouw was said to be Miscavige's right-hand woman, with some former Scientologists branding her his henchman, while another said she was one of his closest lieutenants. A never-before-seen picture exclusively given to Daily Mail Australia reveals Pouw at her wedding with David Miscavige's wife, Shelley, one of her bridesmaids. So I'll just show you this. So Janice Gillam-Grady, I think that's her name, was the friend that they're talking about, and she really recently did a video about this on Peeling the Onion. I might find it and post it in a minute. So all these photos, I understand, were supplied by Janice. So here we've got David's wife, Shelley's circled right. So here's Shelley Miscavige, was a bridesmaid for Marion. And then we've got, this is Freddie Prince, I think that's his name. There's Mike Rinder. I'm not sure who the others are. But yeah, it's always a close world in Scientology. So Ms. Miscavige, I can't speak today, vanished 18 years ago and has never been found. Well, she's hiding away somewhere. A death notice listed by Tampa Funeral Home, Brewer & Sons, shared that Ms. Pouw was born in February 7, 1953 and died on June 20, 2025. So she passed away about a month ago. The listing has since been mysteriously deleted, but still appears online in a Google search. So, okay, let's see. An obituary on US website Icavida revealed that Ms. Pouw died in Claremont, Florida, just a stone's throw from Scientology's Clearwater headquarters. So I've had a look at these and I will show you. So this is the site for the funeral home. And look, it's got, sorry, this obituary was removed. Okay, I mean, that's a bit odd. But I've tracked something down which is on this site. So you've got Marion Pouw, when her date of birth and death in Claremont, Florida. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. And the obituary. It is with great sadness that we announce the death of Marion Pouw, who passed away on 20 June 2025 at the age of 72, leaving to mourn family and friends. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute because she was disconnected with her family and friends. Family and friends are welcome to leave their condolences on this memorial page and share them with the family. As we bid adieu to Marion's earthly form, that's weird, let us not dwell on the void left in their wake, but rather celebrate the legacy of love and inspiration Marion has bequeathed us. For though they may have departed from our sight, their spirit remains a timeless beacon, guiding loved ones through the labyrinth of life's journey. Doesn't this sound like it's a template that the funeral home uses, and they've just slotted in her name? Because they've got let us not dwell on the void, their wake, blah, blah. They refer to her as their and they. Interesting. So we'll get back to that in a minute. Sorry, we'll get back to the article. Okay. And there's the idiot leader. So there's the photo of the wedding with Shelley Miscavige, Mike Rinder, others in there. The obituary farewelled her earthly form. Scientology's core belief is that humans are immortal spiritual beings called thetans who are in a continual cycle of reincarnation on Earth and other planets. Ms. Pouw's work for the church flew mostly under the radar, but she appeared in a Scientology video slamming David's father, the late Ron Miscavige, for leaving the church and writing a memoir about it. Surprise, surprise, she appeared in a hate video for Scientology. Ms. Pouw said she had helped Ron at his lowest point when his brother Red died, and that they were close family friends for more than 40 years. In his book Ruthless Scientology, my son David Miscavige and me, Ron described Pouw as his henchman, which infuriated her. I find the fact that he references me as a top henchman both offensive and insulting, she said in the video, which was posted online and revealed a lingering trace of her Australian accent. I mean, we're talking a 40-year relationship, a close family friend that's gone out of her way for and cared for him. And to now depict that relationship in that manner. A friend doesn't say that about a friend either, ever, no matter the circumstances. You just don't say that. And I find it very insulting and such a gross misrepresentation of the relationship that I had with him. He was a friend. He's not a friend now, but he was a very close friend. I was family, and frankly, I was stunned. Well, we'll find out in a minute about her own family, so to call him someone you work with, family. Ron Miscavige died in 2021, aged 85. And he's a late Scientology founder, L. Ron Hubbard, with his wife, Mary Sue Hubbard, and their children. Sorry, I'm just checking the chat. Okay. Now this picture, the teenage Marion Pouw on the right here, with Mary Sue Hubbard, whom she worked for. Pouw and her siblings were raised by Dutch parents in Melbourne, but the family fled to the church's UK headquarters in St Hill after a 1965 government investigation into the religion, which stifled its activities in Victoria at the time. Go Victoria! They have had a history of holding Scientology to account, which is why it's awesome that this parliamentary inquiry that's happening at the moment into cults it's going on. Yeah, and it closes tomorrow, 24 hours from now. She was raised alongside fellow Australian Scientology children Terry, Janice, and Peter Gillam. So that's Janice Gillam from the Peeling the Onion podcast. According to Janice and fellow former Scientologist Mark Fisher, who co-host Scientology Peeling the Onion, a YouTube series on life outside of the church, Marion spent her entire life in the organization's shadowy pseudo-Navy Sea Org. Janice said Pouw's family left Scientology when she was a teenager, but as soon as she turned 17, she returned and signed up for Sea Org, an elite subsection of the religion of the cult that spent much of its time at sea. Pouw rapidly ascended the ranks and became an assistant to Mary Sue Hubbard, the wife of Scientology founder Aaron Hubbard. It's understood she was incredibly close to the Scientology boss, especially in his later years before his death in 1986. Her unwavering loyalty then switched to his successor, Miscavige. They were so close that Miscavige's wife Shelley was a bridesmaid in Pouw's wedding to fellow Scientologists. Shelley has been subject of global fascination since vanishing in 2007. So it's just, I just want to repeat this very important point. When she was a teenager, her family, who's Dutch Australian, her family moved back over to Holland because they left Scientology, and they, rather than going all the way to Australia, which was going to be expensive with the whole family, they went to Holland, and Marion didn't want to leave, and as soon as she turned 17, she came back and joined the Sea Org. So her family wasn't in it, and she stayed disconnected and stayed in the Sea Org for the rest of her life until she died. So it's kind of sad. So here's a photo of Shelley Miscavige. Actress and former Scientologist Leah Remini has been tireless in her quest to find Shelley, but Pouw never publicly commented on her friend's disappearance. Well, that's interesting, right? She was so close to Shelley and never said anything. Janice, who left the church in 1990, was devastated that her friend and Aussie compatriot had died without ever getting to reconnect with her. She exclusively shared pictures of Marion with Daily Mail Australia. She had a dedication and drive to Scientology, but had a goodness about her that got buried, Janice said. Her YouTube co-host Mark Fisher countered Janice's kind words by saying, but she chose the church over her family and her friends that she'd known for years. Janice added, the sad part is she didn't go back to Holland to see her mum and dad. That is sad. When her father passed away, he didn't tell Marion that he was dying. His thoughts were that she didn't care enough about me when I was alive. Why would she care that I'm dead? They missed so many years with her, so there is that big hole. See, it's so sad. Another life wasted, another family torn apart. Janice, who now lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, recalled Pouw lecturing her father, Peter Gillen Sr., that he needed to handle Janice and Peter Jr. after they left because they'd been speaking out against the church. So here's Mark Fisher and Janice on their podcast. Marion, third from the left. Okay, so that's her, with Janice and her sister Terry and another woman. And Marion in an LA apartment with friends in 1982. She worked for the church in Hollywood. Marion blows bubbles to a baby held by Janice's sister Terry, a fellow Australian Scientologist. Janice revealed her regret that Pouw did not come to see her, even if it was to apparently silence them. If Marion had come to us to see us, we would have turned her, she said. She alleged Pouw had formed a crucial part of Scientology's defense of mass protests in the mid-2000s, which was sparked by an expose from Internet activist Anonymous. She would go around and rope people back into the church for Miscavige, she said. It's crazy. It is believed Pouw's mother, Wilma, is still alive in her 90s and living in the Netherlands. It's sad. Janice's late mother, Yvonne, was the brains behind Scientology's world-famous celebrity center in Los Angeles. So that's Janice's mum. The church responded angrily to speculation about Ms. Pouw's life and death when approached by Daily Mail Australia. Of course they did. Here we go, guys. Usual response. Deny, deny, deny. And threaten. How dare you use someone's death, someone who cannot respond, to spread lies, said public affairs spokesman Karen Pouw, believed to be Marion's sister-in-law. Marion would be outraged to know her honourable name is being used to promote a bigoted agenda against the church she served and the people she so deeply cared for. Marion stood for truth, compassion, and justice. Did she? But not her own family. That her name would be used to spread lies would violate everything she lived for and hurt those she truly loved. Marion is deeply missed and will long be remembered by her true friends who worked side by side with her day in and day out for 5 decades. We urge you to reconsider what you are doing. If you proceed, here come the threats, guys. If you proceed, you will not only be spreading falsehoods, you will be participating in the willful defamation of someone who can no longer defend herself, but who is not without people willing to do so. It's always the same response from Scientology. This is not a matter of debate or perspective, it's a matter of decency. Gosh, decency is the last thing Scientology has. Yeah. So, just another sad life wasted. Oh, chat. She was the bugger that destroyed Stacey. Wow, I'm just going to pin these comments. She was a bugger that destroyed Stacey Moxon's suicide. No, I think. Oh, really? I keep getting her mixed up with Karen Pouw, which, according to this article, is her, I think it said sister-in-law. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, but so sad, like another life wasted, another family torn apart. She had pancreatic cancer. Like, who knows how she was being looked after at the end. I mean, these obituaries, let's see. I'll show you. Is it this page? View condolence. sympathy messages. 0 sympathy messages. Like, it's awful. Yeah, so I'm just having a look at, so Peeling the Onion talked about it not long ago, maybe like a week or 2 ago. So I'm just going to find their video and pin it for you guys as well. So when was it? Live Q&A, watch the replay. Memorial Week. Oh, why is it not here? I watched most, I don't know if I watched all of it, but she wouldn't have been treated. I know. All right, so share this tab. So where's their video on it? And it's another Aussie life destroyed as well. Yeah, here it is. Marion Pouw has died. So let's see if I can share this for you guys. So they've called it Choosing Scientology or Ron Hubbard and Miscavige over your family, something like that. Okay. Oh, can you hear me, guys? I'm going to pop in this link. They never talk about people's death or celebrate their lives. Yeah. That's Scientology. They just think, oh, it's just your human form leaving. Who cares? So I've just posted, let me get organized. Marion Pouw. And back to chat, loud and clear. Okay, good. It's bad PR as it shows the tech doesn't work. Exactly. The tech doesn't work. I mean, she was, right up there working with Shirley Miscavige, David Miscavige, Ron Hubbard's wife, close to Ron Hubbard. So, Peeling the Onion. Just want
Marion Pouw. She also was a longtime friend of Janice, my co-host.
Anyway, I just wanted to show you. So Choosing Scientology or Ron Hubbard and Miscavige over your family. So if you want to check this out, the link I just posted, I should, what I'll do is after this live, I will pin that and maybe the article as well onto the description of this video. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. Marion Pouw committed her life to the freaking Sea Org. She grew up in Melbourne, and after the Victoria crackdown on Scientology, they moved to St. Hill in the UK. Her family, when she was a teenager, her family left Scientology, moved back to Holland because that's where they were from originally. And it was easier to go there than all the way to Australia. And then when she was 17 years old, she went back to Scientology and basically abandoned her family, never saw them again. So it's incredibly sad on both sides for her and for her family. And as I said, Janice kind of grew up with her until she left the Sea Org and Scientology herself. So it's another friend lost as well. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Yeah, OTs are meant to be immune to cancer, I know, and have special healing powers and special vision and all sorts of stuff. Although all the people who have reached the highest OT level, OT 8, there's never been any proof of this. So, yeah, Scientologists out there, just have a look. Is there anyone who is able to do any of the things that they claim can be done with reaching the top of the bridge to total freedom? All right, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon.